In the beginning, there was little to suggest what lay ahead. Great names would bow out, young players would make their marks, and the champions would demand only the very best. Hawthorn was the power side of the 80s, cold, hard and ruthless. A side that would win more than 70% of its games. A team that would play in a record equalling 7 grand finals. A mighty side that would win 4 premierships.
In the pack, the hands go up, the ball
at Princes Park, the much-travelled Craig Davis was in magnificent touch against Hawthorn. The former Carlton and North forward booted 8 for the Magpies, but it wasn't enough to save Collingwood from an 11-point loss.
Davis kicks his 6th goal. Ball by Collingwood as we see Alan Gove.
The star of the day for Hawthorn was Alan Gove, who, although named in the centre, was to be the Hawks' most effective goal scorer with 4.
Across to Gove. Gove straightens up and makes no mistake as he brings up his 2nd goal. Up by Goss, who handballs across to Gove, and Gove brings up his 3rd goal. Stewart's kick up to centre-half forward. Gove takes it, runs in from centre-half forward, lines it up. Away.
Co-tenants Hawthorn and Carlton met in probably the craziest match of the season, with Hawthorn winning by 2 points. But only after the tangle-footed Blues had kicked 14 straight behinds in the last quarter.
I thought this match would be on. The tension's been terrific. You can really sense it up here and you could cut it with a knife.
It was a tough match, as Jeff Ablett found out from teammate John Kennedy.
Plenty of distance in his kick.
Robert DiPierdomenico and Kellen Sheldon came to terms. There were great individual performances like this one from Michael Young.
Matthews gets clear of Austin.
And from evergreen Lee Matthews.
Snaps for goal. That's a great goal, Lee Matthews.
What a beautiful bit of play that was. You see the cool, calm and collected by Ablett again.
When North Melbourne and Hawthorn collided head-on at VFL Park, 34,000 people saw the VFL's most fierce rivals of the 70s do battle yet again. This time the honours were to go to North, but only by 5 points.
The full forward position, Reeves on his own, should have taken that mark, but he'll kick a goal anyway. Right, North Melbourne leading
this knockout. Well, neither got control this time. There's Goss going after the line. A snap for goal. Not a bad sort of a kick either. I think he's put it through. What a beautiful shot. The Goat, a very effective player in the centre day for Hawthorn. He's clear and a chance now to send them deep into attack. No one within queuing as he goes around that half-forward line. Over the half-forward line. A running shot towards the goals. Will it make the disc? Not a bad sort of a kick. He's kicked the goal. Can he mark? He's going after. Got a hand to a snap for goal. It's a goal. Great skipper for Hawthorn.
Coming through was Evans, tackled too high.
When you throw a handful of hawks among the Swans, feathers are certain to fly. And they did just that at the Lakeside ground. In the midst of things were heavyweights and incidentally rival skippers Don Scott and Barry Round.
Goals, a punch up in the middle with Round and Scott. Down. And South trying to get forward again.
Smith throws the ball back, but it's teased out.
South were to show a clean pair of heels and give Hawthorn an 87-point hiding. One of the worst defeats inflicted on the Hawks in a decade. Football's toughest guessing game. Just what exactly is Crackers Keenan saying? And does he mean it? This day against his old rival Don Scott, Keenan was in full verbal flight before the siren had even had a chance to butt in.
But it's pretty hard to upset Don Scott, isn't it, Bob?
Well, if you look at Crackers, anything can upset you here. Looking at him before he was.
As was to be expected, it was a grudge match from the beginning. And down they went.
Now hand passing on. It's taken by Fowler. Fowler got it out once. Oh, he got dropped too. And the umpire's called play on as they kicked it by Merritt. Upfield, a little bit of a ruckus going on down here. Very high. Goss under the ball. Doesn't take his eye off it. Cop one too.
Missed by Watson. Russo cops one too high.
Forward zone. Madden up high. And the hands of Simon Madden.
There were to be brighter moments, particularly from the Bombers' spring-heeled skipper Simon Madden, as his boys accelerated away to a 3-goal win.
Hearn hand passes across to Van der Haar, gets through the first tackle, gives it across with a hand pass to Robbins. Robbins dummies around, straightens up, puts the ball goalward and brings up his 2nd goal.
Hand passes to
At VFL Park, Geelong continued to improve, but the points this day against Hawthorn were hard fought for.
He's not going to kiss him, I don't think. It'll be a 15-metre penalty against Turner. Matthews takes the mark. And a beautiful judo throw.
Don Scott down. Don Scott down. Got one right across the face that time.
At the go. Matthews is on his own, but he's caught with the ball. Matthews in the square. Steps for goal.
Beautiful play, Peter.
That's a goal. Magnificent goal from me.
When Hawthorn and Collingwood met, it seemed only natural that Lethal Lee and Stan the Man should get together.
Oh, Scott tried to knock his block right up there and Tony Shaw down, but it's two Hawthorn players have back flank Ireland.
In just a bone-jarring instant, Andrew Ireland learnt the meaning of the Lethal Lee tag.
Matthews that time as Matthews runs away and it's Baylor. Oh, everyone goes
And
down.
just a minute later, umpire Peter Cameron hit the turf.
Also, Stewart kicks the ball back. The players up there and the umpire can gain some composure. Peter Cameron did go down very heavily, as did Peter Moore. He does appear to be all right. Craig Davis right out towards
Back to football, however, and with play like this from Alan Edwards, Collingwood was to continue to hold on to fifth spot on the ladder with a 27-point win.
Looking for the
ball up there towards the full
For
forward
Hawthorn,
this
the season was a dismal and forgettable one. This match against Carlton was no exception.
A beautiful goal by Mark Kewen, scores a dead level.
Quickly puts it into the centre. Johnson, a fine mark. Gets away now from Eade. Straightens up and puts a long kick down towards the goal line. Sheldon's there for Carlton. It goes past Sheldon, rolls through. A great goal by Wayne Johnson. Again, one of those smaller players in Mark Who take it. Get away again. Towards the centre half forward position with a drop punt. Kelvin Moore. Beautiful football by Kelvin Moore. Again in front of Warren Jones. Takes the mark. Runs two.
It proved also that even champions can have an off day. For Kel Moore, one of the few. The final five was settled on August the 23rd when South Melbourne blew its chances against Hawthorn at VFL Park. It was one of the toughest and most hard-fought matches at the park this season, and the Hawks relished the conditions.
The wide shorts of someone who's been dropped. Back to James. He gets a quick hand pass towards Ricky Quaid. Now tapped the ball on. Don Scott following the ball. It could be a free kick against Scott.
While Parkin would coach Carlton to the premiership in 1981 and again in 1982, the 47-year-old Jeans was preparing to take Hawthorn into a fabulous new era.
I was nearly sealed, signed and delivered and gone to Fitzroy. He wanted me to come out for an interview that night, so I came out and had the interview. And after the interview, I think I only asked one question through the interview: why did you want an outsider to coach the club? And because they'd been such a tight club for such a long period of time, and I don't think I really got an answer from that thing, but that was the only really question I wanted to know. And I went home and I discussed it with my wife, and within about an hour of that, Ron rang me again, and I said yes, I'd take the job.
Kick straight down the ground.
Hawthorn's Colin Robertson produced one of the outstanding individual performances of the year. A polished and perfect game against North Melbourne led to a 35-point win for the Hawks.
With Robertson again.
Dempsey can't get into the flight of it. Goss there looking for the ball, can't pick it up. Robertson again. Yes, it's through. Another goal. Great play by Robertson. Scoring corridor. Ball punched away from the big pack. Here's Robertson again. Open goal, and Robertson pops it through for his second goal. He got the little kick toward Tuck. Tuck's hand pass comes in, and Robertson can hand pass again to Goss. That he does. Goss, the goals are open, and it's a goal coming up to Norby Goss. Through Robertson once again. One on behind the play.
Round 12, Hawthorn's Lethal Lee found himself on a striking charge after this melee. He was later let off. When the Blues settled down, they played dazzling football and defeated their co-tenants at Princes Park by 39
He
points.
straightens up, goes for the short pass over the top, finds McConville and a beautiful goal.
15-metre penalty.
League football returned to Brisbane after 30 years, and Essendon's Ronnie Andrews was promptly reported for striking Hawthorn's Bertie Di Domenico. He was suspended for 4 matches.
Sheldon Moore, although conceding quite a few inches to Simon Madden.
Oh, there's one down.
And he's reported, I would say.
Ronnie Andrews dropped him like a sack of spuds.
He's got him all right.
He's got him. You're gone this time, Ronnie boy.
He got DP at a
Oh, right in the mouth. Right in the mouth. I tell you what, if I was going to pick on a Hawthorn player to biff, I'd biff somebody else.
Couldn't pick it up. Thompson gets
20,000 Queenslanders saw Essendon continue its winning streak and then saw Norm Goss reported for striking Andrews.
Oh, there's someone down. That's Andrews.
Is that the square off?
That might have been, but takes a while. The umpire's found a free kick.
Goss is gone, has he? Yep.
He's got Goss. Yes,
busy
he's
night,
taken
isn't it?
Goss. No, that's Andrews, and Goss reported here today, and Andrews gets the free kick. But I think Ronnie, even though he's rubbing his head, he's got a concrete head. It won't hurt that.
By Davies, he gives the hand pass.
Hawthorn skipper Lee Matthews has been one of the most adaptable players in the game for a decade, and he revelled in the slush, kicking 3 goals in the Hawks' win over North.
Towards Robertson, but a poor hand pass, so it run past Robertson. Player slipping and sliding, it comes back to Matthews. He has a kick towards goal. Full point for
Henderson now of North Melbourne. Can't take it cleanly. It's on the turf. Dempsey picked it up like a rover, but Tuck took it away. Tuck's left foot kick out to Matthews, unopposed. Dempsey's left hip, and Matthews led well to that pass from Tuck.
And a great tribute to Don Scott of Hawthorn. A long, hard road for this giant ruckman, but 300 games, and he's been a bit of an enigma around the club, Peter, but a magnificent performance. He has time to pick it up and kick.
And the big fellow celebrated by being part of a winning side against St Kilda at VFL Park.
Scott,
it was a win to push the Hawks back into the 5.
Kennedy. A hurried kick in towards full forward, fisted away from Davies. Heavy mighty work as Wallace picks it up. Good work by Ablett. The kick by Wallace is...
And if there was a personality in VFL football this year, it had to be that wooden spoon whacker, Jacko. This cameo performance typified Mark Jackson's game against Kelvin Moore of Hawthorn.
That's it, Jacko. Pass on the message. What a character. What a character. He's a one-man band down there. He is a one-man show down there. He's as happy as Larry. Kicked his first goal, and he is told about 15,000 people in no uncertain manner. Oh dear. Lines up the drop punt. That's close. Oh! Jacko knocked the goal umpire down.
Well, it was my last game, and at 3/4 time, well, they were making changes off the bench in those days at the ruckman, and I started off on the ball, and the runner came out to make the change, and Ian Payton was waiting over there, and I just sent him back and said, "This is my last game of football. I'm not coming off."
Scott had played 302 games. 15 times he'd been reported for a total suspension of 11 matches. He had played in 3 premiership sides, captaining 2 of them.
Carlton coach David Parkin reacted angrily when his former teammate Lee Matthews flattened the Blues' Ken Hunter. His players, however, provided the answer with these 8 goals in one stunning 11-minute burst in the 3rd quarter.
Takes a mark who shoots it back to him again. Glasgow picks up into Malin. Malin, another chance from the boundary line. This time, is he on target? Going forward. The chance for Fitzpatrick. No mark paid. It's a chance now for Rizzusto. Up to the
Hawks trailed Richmond by a goal when they met for the first time at Princes Park, but with a fine team performance, went on to win by 3 goals and move to the top of the ladder.
Hooks it over the back, no forwards ready. Jess gets there first, straight to Tuck, another chance of a goal as Tuck comes right up to the wall, the goal area, touched off the boot, and only 1 point.
How far did he run? Up in the spot of bother. There's a chance for go. No Buckenara in there. Polkinghorn a chance. Other hand passes on. Chance for Goss. He's wrong-footed. Gives it to Matthews. He's caught. Gets a shot toward goal. And what's he done? It's a goal. Oh, the kick travelling well. It's over the... No, a good mark to Martello, I thought.
Fierce rivals of the 70s, Hawthorn and North, met on neutral ground, but the Hawks proved far too good on the knee.
Couldn't get that one. McCann got into his back. Tuck takes it off the pack, snaps for goal. This looks all right. It's for a pass. It's a beauty. And a mark to Robertson. Robertson goes for a short pass to Tuck. He's got an open go here for a goal, and he doesn't mess about. And the Hawks are looking great now.
Too far for him. Goes to Byrne. Back to Buckenara. Long shot at goal by the West Australian. That's a good shot at goal by Gary Buckenara.
Fumbling a hand pass over to Russo. It could be another goal coming up. It's a long shot. It is a goal. Another one of the Hawks. Oh, they hopped down.
Lee Matthews kicked 5 goals, including this beauty against Footscray. But it wasn't enough to stop new coach Ian Hampshire providing the boil-over of the season. Lee Matthews flattened Carlton's Robert Plonk and was to feel heavy repercussions.
Matthews has been dropped behind the play.
Oh, there's quite a few things going on here at Prince's Park, believe you me. Only seconds ago I said that. Matthews sitting on the turf.
Payton trying to get it.
It was to be Hawthorn's day, though. One victory and 4 clashes for the year for the Hawks, however.
He doesn't, but he's put it through nonetheless. It's 4 points, 3 goals to Lee Matthews.
And the face of Lee Matthews a bit battered by today's encounter here at Prince's Park. He was dropped behind play.
Towards
The Hawks moved into premiership calculations at the MCG with their second win over topside Richmond, with goals like these that thrilled the 48,000-strong crowd.
Into the goal square. Could even be a goal. It is. Oh, what a kick, Peter Knights.
Back now to Swab. The ball comes back again. Finally driven up there by Ablett. The back is Knights, flies. It might be a goal, I think it is. Another goal by Ablett. Tuck again, but the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Hawthorn. He said, "Go play on."
Yes.
Oh, what a confusing decision that one. It's really a goal, it is. And that was kicked. I've got to pick the player up and kick that. It could have been Ablett. It was.
For Byrne, who
Hawthorn kicked 13 goals in the first quarter of its match against North, and the goals continued to pile up as the Hawks kicked their highest ever score. 32 goals, 14 behinds, 206 points.
towards that half-forward line. It's just this elusive goal that's going to break the record. Will it come here from Green? The long kick in towards goal. There's the new record for the Hawthorn Football Club.
From finalists in 81 to also Wrens in 82, it was a chilling drop for Fitzroy. But in round 17, they showed their class with a great win over Hawthorn at the Park. Nick Conlon kicked 6 and Rendell 5 in the Lions' 47-point upset.
Payton loses sight of it. Conlon tackled when he didn't have the ball. The call was play on. Away he goes. Maybe battleship. Oh, side bottom and go. They both lined each other up and no damage done. Conlon up running half the field towards full forward. Oh, mark in the goal. Quinlan and Byrne. Byrne over his shoulder. Goal!
Great goal, Pete.
That was.
There for O'Halloran, but that's a great mark tonight. He's off. Runs to an open goal and puts it through. Brilliant play.
In towards the goal square. Big Madden and O'Halloran, the one hand. He's got it, has he? Ho-ho!
Justin Madden took one of the marks of the year at Windy Hill and followed up with one of the worst kicks of the season against Hawthorn.
Galloping giraffe killed him that time. Oh.
And at point-blank range, one would suggest that he wouldn't miss. That he has... Hurd. Back to Folds. A long kick coming up from him. It's a goal.
At 4 o'clock, the Bombers looked certainties, but then along came Lethal Lee to change all that.
It's a beautiful ball. Steady, shoots, goal. 2 goals to Hawthorn. And deep here, Domenico. Matthews can't take the mark. Shrugs the tackle. A shot at goal is through.
Look at Jeans going mad. Go, go, he's saying. There with Merritt. Oh, the post is broken. Matthews hit it and broke the point post. Oh, talk about a he-man. How was that? He split it right down in half. A fantastic effort by Lee Matthews. Oh!
The boundary umpire at Prince's Park. He tangled with Hawthorn's David O'Halloran and was forced to take a dramatic exit.
David O'Halloran. And a poor little boundary umpire has taken a complete shirt front, completely unintended, of course. Even the fellow coming in Domberg can't get at Matthew. Oh, got struck. I thought, yes. Picken put his hand up as much to say I didn't do it.
Up towards the forward area, but in the way. Kelvin Moore, it should be a 15-metre penalty.
Thumped the ball down, didn't try and take the mark. That was a strong piece of work by Alan Gove for Hawthorn.
The Hawks won by 22 points, thanks once again to the brilliance of Lee Matthews, who kicked 8 goals.
Pressure applied on him here.
Spencer gets the ball out to Fashini. He has time to have one bounce, gives a hand pass over the top to Brown.
Down went Silvio Fashini against the Hawks, and down went the Swans' hopes of playing in the finals.
Gordon brings up his second goal. Shane Morwood. It's Matthews at the back.
Hawthorn kicked 10 goals to 2 in the second half to provide the swan song.
Dropped the possession on that occasion by Carter. That is tapped through by Loveridge. It's a goal.
Good football by Hawthorn once again. He's ridden a couple of bumps. He shoots it out to Tuck. Tuck goes goal, but it's chopped off. But it's Tuck again. Into the open goals he travels, and he's put it right out of the ground.
Centre half forward, puts it forward.
Hawthorn beat Melbourne by 11 points, but this was the incident that had the whole town talking.
Gave Giles one behind play. Matthews now in the hands of, 3 or 4 players. You can see for yourself.
Little bit of fireworks here at the MCG.
Tiger Crosby was not so lucky. He was reported and missed the last game of the year.
Croswell went down. Frank up towards centre wing. A well-placed kick.
At the MCG, Wayne Harms personally orchestrated Hawthorn's downfall in the qualifying final. It was to be Carlton by 58 points, and Harms the hero.
The corridor, so to speak. Kennedy got the ball to ground. Clark went for a hand pass. It's taken by Harms. He goes forward. He's got another one. Down toward the half-forward zone. An opportunity for
First gamer Dermot Brereton got things going for the Hawks and was to kick 5 goals against North.
I knew that Mick Moncrief was going to pull out. He was the one that they told me was going to pull out. And the 5 players on the bench, I was the only forward. They were all running players or, you know, midfielders, so I virtually had to go in. They were going to be very light on up forward.
And the mark taken by John Kennedy, playing in defence, given over to Mew. Mew puts it down toward Payton. Payton can't take it one-handed. Knight taps it down, but not before the umpire said a free kick, and it will be taken back there on the wing position, outer side of the ground.
Dermot Brereton playing his first senior game and playing in a final, the first man to do so since Michael Cook, down towards half-forward.
And normally, you know, by that age, at 17, 18, you've seen things happen. You've seen hard tackles, you've seen hard bumps, but it's nearly always involved with the player who's got the ball, because you think, ball, target. I've moved the ball on, and Rocket's got it. He's moving forward, and I could tell there was somebody chasing. He turned out to be a good mate, Gomez, Andy Demetrio, and Lee Matthews whizzed past the other way, and I thought, this is going to be one hell of a shepherd.
Puts the ball up toward the centre of the ground. Carman flies high, brings it to Turf, picked up by Russo. Down toward the half-forward zone. An opportunity for Henshaw, well tackled. Bad bit of football as Brereton got the hand pass away. It's a chance for Eade with the ball in front of him. Oh, heavy work by Matthews. Eade goes toward goal. And it's through. Heavy work.
First quarter, I just didn't adjust to the tempo. I just ran around like a chook with his head cut off. Second quarter, it just fell into place. I got one lace out from Barney Matthews coming out of the centre, and that was a pretty good start.
Payton trying to do it all himself. Goad, who came onto the ground at the start of the term, is there as well. The umpire says the tackle was too high, and things going Hawthorn's way at the moment as lethal Lee Matthews will take it from the centre. The drop punt pass in towards Brereton, he takes it.
Beautiful pass, beautiful lead too by Brereton. It's a long way out from goal. It'll take a 50-metre kick at least to get there. Big Michael Byrne is up there in the square in case the ball does drop short. I noticed Brereton's first kick travelled well. See how he goes with this one. May not. Yes, it's made it. It's a goal. Good goal. Kicked by Dermot Brereton.
I actually got embarrassed. I thought, you know, gee, I meant to smile and giggle here and I was so rapt. You see the footage, I actually start really smiling. Michael Byrne comes over to me and I'm like, oh, I've kicked the goal. It really was like a little schoolboy playing his first game.
Three quick goals. The ball going quickly toward goal. Brereton's there and takes the mark only a few metres out, and it will be a 15-metre penalty, but he's not far enough out to have that full 15 applied. And the ball moved downfield by Russo to Brereton. He should bring up his second goal from point-blank range. The angle is a bit tight, but from the distance he should never miss it.
The chance to come within 2 points of North Melbourne. Brereton does so for the Hawks, and they're back in business once again.
Schwab can't get balance quickly, but he'll score pass to Robertson. Did it well. He can hand pass on one way. No, he goes to Russo. He went for Ablett. Russo back to Ablett now. Ablett takes his time to get balance. Goes in toward Brereton again. A chance for Dench at the back, but he didn't come in, and he let Henshaw do the tackling, and Brereton takes the mark and will take this shot for goal.
It's a real live wire, Dermot Brereton.
He is that. He's got a bit of red hair. Reg Hickey, my old mate, would love him, the red-headed. He always loved all the redheads, but Brereton a chance for his third goal. It's a lovely kick. That's another goal. That's a beautiful goal by Brereton. His third goal. He's certainly making his presence felt out there.
Schwab goes back and takes a gutsy mark, running into the ball. Goes short towards centre wing, finding Green. He goes over the top. Could be trouble, though. Some good shepherding. Keeps Cracker out of it as Chris Mew goes long towards the half-forward line. Matthews tries to make position and use the body. Byrne couldn't tap it over, but he does so. Gives it to himself and then over the top to Matthews, who shepherds beautifully. Here's one for Dermot. Great goal. Great teamwork by the Hawks.
He recovers it himself and goes in toward the half-forward zone where Tuck takes up a position. Can't take the mark. Brereton's a chance for his fifth goal. 45 metres out from goal. Brereton goes forward and he's put it through. Another goal kicked by Dermot Brereton, his fifth goal, and he certainly made his mark this afternoon. A young player coming into the team. Hawthorn had to change some players before the game started. Terry Wallace and David O'Halloran had to pull out of the team, and Brereton was one young player to come in and he's certainly done well, kicking 5 goals himself and has given away another couple in the goal square.
Only 61,000 people were at VFL Park for the preliminary final, and for the Hawks it was farewell to 1982. For the Blues, their 3rd grand final in 4 years.
Closely attended by Matthews. Doesn't got tangled with either of those guys. Matthews having a few words to say to Bortolotto and goes after him. That's unlike Lee Matthews.
Collingwood played host to Hawthorn, and the $1 Million Magpies, as they'd been dubbed, were never in the race.
Picks it up, shoots towards goal and puts the first one on the ball. Lethal. Phillips the spoiler. Curran tries to get it on. The handball from Russo to Matthews. There's a goal. And the Hawks steady.
Loses the ball. It comes out towards Richardson. Richardson gets out of trouble beautifully, but puts Barham under all sorts of pressure. Gets out of it with a hand pass to Miles. His kick smothered. Taken by Curran. Curran goes goalward. A beautiful kick from Curran. A great goal for his second.
And a steadier for the Hawks.
When the Bombers and the Hawks collided at Princes Park, it was to be the toughest, roughest match of the season.
Domenico again taps it forward to Matthews.
DPA Domenico's got one in the nose too.
He can handle most of them.
A double Dutchman. He's moving very well. The umpire's found a free kick against the Hawthorn, and it goes to Thompson out there. But Mew got one behind the ear too to go on with. But the umpire's ignoring that one.
Captain against South Australia. He'll be playing at Football Park on Monday. Domenico stood his ground. You can't blame him for...
Hawks' Robert Domenico was reported by field umpires Rowan Saws and Kevin Smith for deliberately striking Alan Stodham, and was subsequently suspended for 5 matches. This clash between 2 of the toughest men in the game, Ron Andrews and Lee Matthews, however, was deemed legitimate, although Lethal Lee wasn't quite sure where he was for some time after. An 8-goal second quarter burst by the Hawks and set the way for a 37-point win over Collingwood in the second half of the split 16th round.
There's the kick by Tuck. It's a pretty good one too. It's a goal. And the Hawks are back in business now. Down there towards Brown in the full forward position. Up they go. McCarthy's got it. Spins out of the pack well. A snap at goal. Not a bad sort of a shot either. It could be a goal. It is.
That's a great goal.
A beautiful goal by McCarthy.
Domenico right half forward. Long shot by Domenico. He doesn't kick many goals, but that's one.
A long hand pass out to Buckenara. There's 3 of them out there. They've got a paddock to running. Where are the Collingwood players? Got it within Cooey. And they're taking... There's no one there within sight of these 3 players. A short pass. And once again, it's Domenico going for goal number 2. He's lobbed it right through the middle. Hand pass back now. A chance for Brown to have a snap at goal. Another long hand pass to Robertson. This looks dangerous for Collingwood as he goes. They're messing about. Matthews will kick a goal. He's got it now and a goal.
Had to fight for that. Matthews is third.
Flattens the pack.
Flattened himself.
And himself too. As he stunned himself, I think he's winded himself down there. Good position. Williams flies. He goes down. And there's Ayres going through. This back line has been tremendous. A hand. Well, he was going to go for a hand pass. There's no one within Cooey, so there's a running shot at goal. And he's put it through. That's how easy they're doing it.
Terry Wallace had averaged close to 30 kicks a game for the Hawks and was figuring highly as a contender for the Brownlow, as well as a host of media awards. Against Richmond, he came in for plenty of attention.
With Terry Wallace, they've now brought it down to the centre, up towards Judge, who plucks it in with the one hand. Does it beautifully as he swings towards goal and puts it through. Great play by the judge. Anara, Wallace again. Another handball, and he copped another heavy one, and he's gone down this time, saying, where am I, who am I with, and what goes?
Lee Matthews has often been the one man who stood between North Melbourne and victory over Hawthorn. So it was to be again in 1983 when Lethal Lee kicked half a dozen in the Hawks' 7-point win at Arden Street.
Play that mark. Here's to Matthews.
Didn't drop that one.
A DP at Domenico. And there's a good mark to Matt.
Could have almost been downfield, but it's taken by Matthews. Shrugs one tackle, goes for the pass. Who's it to? DP Domenico. A third to Matthews and Ramsey. Matthews. Mew could kick a goal. No, McCarthy, 10 metres out, scores. 4 points the difference. 3 goals to McCarthy.
The qualifying final was a thriller, with Hawthorn getting up by only 4 points. The heroes were two veterans, full forward Bernie Quinlan, who kicked 8 goals for the Lions, including 5 in a brilliant last quarter, and for the Hawks, Peter Knights, who booted 6.
Peter Knights coming through, taps it forward. Goal number 4 coming up to Peter Knights. Knights puts the ball through, and Hawthorn.
Knights. Well, he really is. You said, Robbie, he's proving the danger man. Plus 15 metres. Didn't look pretty off the boot. That doesn't matter. It's extremely effective as Peter Knights kicks his 5th goal. Good, hard, solid football. Quinlan plucks it out of the air, tries desperately to get a kick. He does. He's kicked it. The Roys have hit the front. Quinlan has kicked his 8th goal.
By Grant Lowry, rolling towards the points, and it's taken over the boundary line by Les Parrish. Now he's going to be penalised, deliberately taking the ball over the line. And courageous decision by Michael Tuck from the boundary line. Right through the centre. A great goal, Michael Tuck. Opposition punched away by Coleman. Taken by Loveridge. He gets a push in the back. It'll be a free kick to Hawthorn's Richard Loveridge. He's 20 metres out from goal. About a 45-degree angle. Umpire Glenn James on the mark. And disappointed Gary Pert. But right now, it's Richard Loveridge and Hawthorn are back in front.
The 4 forward. Knights is there on his own and misses the mark. McCarthy goes. So Hawthorn's first goal.
Hawthorn back into attack again. Matthews at the back over Dempsey. I think he said, pay that.
Paid it.
He's paid it. Dempsey going crook at the umpire. Walks away in disgust, comes back again.
Matthews in trouble. Grabbed too high though. A snapshot by Lee.
Essendon thrashed North in the preliminary final by 86 points. The Bombers would be on the end of a similar hiding on grand final day. The Hawthorn selectors had made their toughest decision in years, omitting 293-game fullback Kelvin Moore in favour of David O'Halloran. Moore had missed just 1 match in 9 seasons. In Peter Knights' 250th game, 110,000 people watched in horror as Gary Buckenara bowed out of the match in the opening quarter. By half-time, it was all but over. Hawthorn leading by 57 points.
Long over the centre half forward position, the back fly. Matthews steps the ball down at Tuck, and Tuck has a pot shot at the goals. But will it make the distance? It'll be a goal!
Looking for Matthews. Heard, beautiful one-hander, just not completing it enough. Matthews, a shot at goal. That's a jam!
In the third quarter, Matthews cut Essendon to ribbons with 9 kicks. He'd finish with 6 goals to top the club goal kicking for the 5th time with 79. Tasmanian Colin Robertson would have 29 possessions on the way to the Norm Smith medal. John Kennedy outstanding in defence with 30 touches. Terry Wallace finishing with 32. Hawthorn's 5th premiership was achieved with a record 83-point win.
Almost throws that one out in front of him for Terry Wallace to pick up, which Wallace does at right half forward.
And it's up there towards the forward pocket, coming out as little Loveridge. So he's got the mark about 25 metres out from goal. Gene's on the phone. Don't tell me he's worried at this stage of the match. We see a goal put through this time by O'Halloran. Rodney Eade going after it, and the ball is out of bounds. So at the 30-minute mark, we see the score. There's the silent Hawthorn the premiers from 1883. And a fine effort. There's their coach, Alan Genes. And what a happy man. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
As captain, I thought he, really showed his class as a captain, and just the way he handled everything through the final series and the preparation and training, and he sort of really came to the forefront as a leader just out on the training track for the last 4 weeks before the final series and right through the final series, and he capped off a wonderful career. He won 8 best and fairest here, as we all know, but he hadn't captained the side to a premiership, and he got his just rewards on that particular day.
Yeah, to actually go up there and hold the Premiership Cup to the crowd, yeah, that was always a very proud and cherished moment.
The Hawks had waited 6 months to see their premiership pennant unfurled and then celebrated with a 6-goal win over the Swans.
Merritt's kick up the half.
Add a decent helping of salmon to the rugged Essendon side of 1983, as well as an even more improved Simon Madden, and the grand final replay against Hawthorn on round 2 took on a different light. The record margin of 6 months previous was never in jeopardy. In fact, this battle raged all day at Windy Hill and went to the Hawks by a solitary kick. Paul Salmon kicked 7 for the second week in a row.
Yes.
It's the kick by Knights. That's a long kick. Oh, that's a beautiful kick by Knights. Got it. That's all it counts. There's the kick by Langford. That's not a bad sort of a kick either. It's a goal. What a long kick by Langford. Certainly rebounded well in this quarter. Kick by Brereton from about 55 metres out. It's a long kick. I think it might be a goal. It is a goal. Enough to upset these players considerably. If we saw it gives a break. So Knights has knocked over.
So he's been given a rev at half-time. Knight got a mile in the air. Couldn't complete the mark.
He tries to pick it up. His big boot got in the way and the ball is out of... Oh, golly!
Lethal Lee joined the 300 club and his longtime teammate Michael Tuck made it 250 against Footscray, and together they helped thrash the Bulldogs by 47 points.
Yes, or behind. The goal to Dutch.
Hansen grabs the ball, but he's grabbed that time by Di Pierdomenico. Now it's Matthews spinning out of the black, playing his 300th game over to Di Pierdomenico. It's another goal. So they're 5 goals
from behind. Down it comes to Matthews. Over it goes to Judge. Judge runs into the open goal. Steps at the ball.
Matthews tries to get around Hinchin. His hand pass goes to Byrne. Byrne shoots it over to Wallace. Wallace goes goal. And is it through or not?
It bounces right for
The
Matthews.
hero for the Hawks was the irrepressible Lethal Lee Matthews, who helped himself to 7 of the best.
Lethal Lee, and he's put it through for goal number 7. Scouting unable to take it.
John Kennedy displayed his versatility for the Hawks against Carlton. The one-time defender come forward, kicked 5 goals in Hawthorn's first quarter burst of 10-3, and the day's Blues never recovered.
Bad play. The Judge is there. He's got to stand his ground. Picked up by Fleming. Kennedy again, and he's kicked 3. Shoots in towards full forward. Danger again for Carlton. And here is the man of the moment. John Kennedy has kicked 3 goals. He has the opportunity of making it 4 and giving the Hawks a 5-goal break. Oh, and it's a beautiful kick off the ball. Brereton doesn't even attempt to fly. Leaves it for Langford. Here's another one. How easy is this, says John Kennedy. 5 goals in 23 minutes.
Salmon is killing them. Great mark. Centre half back. Oh, Waterson got one from his teammate Timmy Watson then.
The grand final replay was yet another rugged encounter, but the Hawks kept their record intact, winning by 47 points.
Oh, Brereton collided with Matthews. He lined somebody up and missed him.
Pedo punt.
In just a matter of minutes, 3 in fact, Lethal Lee demolished St Kilda. He kicked 3 of his 5 goals and set up a Hawthorn victory by 104 points.
By Matthews to leave it, which he does, and Matthews takes the mark.
Gee, how do you beat him? How do you beat him? The little hand pass. Oh, beautifully done by Robertson. Here he is again, Lethal Lee. Onto the left foot, he fires at the goals. And there's no doubt about Lee Matthews. You can't hold him down.
Forward again.
The Hawks were back on top of the ladder after 15 rounds, but still on level pegging with Essendon. Footscray had no answer to the skill, power and relentless drive of the 83 Premiers when they met at Princes Park.
Hand pass coming
Richmond suffered its 5th successive defeat, and the club's hopes of a premiership in its centenary year lay in tatters. Hawthorn won by 88 points and had match winners in Peter Curran and John Kennedy, who each kicked 6, and the brilliant Russell Green, who was already being mooted as a Brownlow hopeful.
Here comes McCarthy again, gives it across to Curran. He booted 4. Make that 5 as he continues on his merry way, and so too to the Hawks. At the moment, they will almost double that. Here's another one. Thank you, says John Kennedy. And how easy is that? 5 goals to Kennedy.
The match of the 18th round between Carlton and Hawthorn was a tight, engrossing affair. The Hawks started with 7 goals in the first quarter, and in the second and third quarters tried desperately to stem the Carlton fight back.
Snaps towards goal. It's a lovely goal from Colin Robertson.
Curran, the opportunity.
The Blues led by 2 points and increased that after 3-quarter time, but then Peter Curran struck. He kicked 5 straight in a last quarter effort that saw Hawthorn kick 10-3, and it was the Hawks by 32 points.
And he'll be free kicked. And suddenly things running with the Hawks. He calls play on. The shot at goal is good, and there's another one.
Curran thought about the pass. He straightens up from directly in front and shut the gate as Hawthorn go to 19-14.
It won't make the distance.
But while the contenders were shaping up, the champs looked good. Very good indeed. The Hawks slaughtered the Sydney Swans to the tune of 89 points, and Lee Matthews, who'd been written off in some quarters, responded with 6 goals.
Short pass, and DP Domenico's taken the mark. A quick hand pass over to Judge. A long shot at goal. Not a bad sort of a kick either. It's a goal.
The Magpies failed to grasp their chance, but the real loser was Hawthorn's John Kennedy, who broke his leg in the opening minutes of the game and was destined to miss the rest of the season. The Hawks, with Judge kicking half a dozen, won by 15 points.
Start for them. And Kennedy just about in the rooms. That's either an ankle, a calf, or something like that.
Hold the mark, they grab him, they pile on top, the ball comes out, the Judge straightens up, fires at the goals. It'll come around, and Hawthorn are in front by a goal. That's his third.
Little needs to be said when Jacko is in full flight. This was round 22.
He's got to get clear now. He's clear. He's going to have a bounce. He'll straighten up and fire. It deserves a goal. Oh, Jacko, you ripper.
Jacko, so he'll go over to Kelvin Moore now. Oh, look, what a salute. Up to the crowd.
But that was great play on the part of Jackson that time. He fumbled, stumbled, too strong for Moore, outmanoeuvred him completely, and that's a strong mark.
And Jacko, oh, where we go again.
He must be driving Calvin Moore mad.
Board card in front, can't take it. Matthews spins out, a shot at goal is close, and he's dogged it lethal.
Matthews, Flanagan.
Kelvin Moore had the last laugh as he kicked one of the rare goals in his fine career, and the Hawks came home by 69 points to end Geelong's hopes. The qualifying final might well have been renamed the knockout final, because that's the way it ended up. Bertie Di-Pier-Domenico ended Curly Austin's year and put the veteran tagger in hospital with a broken cheekbone. Dermot Brereton went down, and Des English was suspended for 2 matches. In the end, it was to be the Hawks' comfortable winners by 5 goals.
There it is, 2 goals to Ralph.
Hawthorn, but they're looking okay as we see Jones drop that mark. It was a difficult one. Di-Pier-Domenico and Dill fight it out. It's Di-Pier-Domenico. Beautiful play on the boundary line as he kicks the ball long. What's this one? Oh, my goodness. Was that a goal? Up there for Matthews to come out. He's in front of Blackwell. He's got to get past 2 of them. They both fall over. This gives him a chance to score a goal, and he does. Oh, look at the champ. That's goal number 6.
The second semi-final was a dress rehearsal of the 1984 grand final in many people's minds, or conversely, a replay of the 1983 grand final. It was a rugged encounter between Hawthorn and Essendon, and again, it was that man Bertie Di-Pier-Domenico who held the balance.
The goals, and that'll be through. What a beauty by Dippy.
He's played a ripper game down there.
In the end, it was to be the Hawks by 8 points in one of the best finals in years.
Loveridge shoots, it's there. Hawthorn are back in front. What a game we've got at the MCG. Off the hands of the pack. Hand pass from Lester Smith to Matthews, who's steady, shoots at goal. First blood to Hawthorn, and that took only about 30 seconds.
There's a chance for another one. Duckworth and Matthews both fighting, but Matthews goes down. He was nearly grabbed by the leg, and Loveridge puts it through for another one. Oh, they're looking good, Hawthorn.
The fight's more interesting than the
still
play, I tell you.
Duckworth in front. Oh, great mark to Burn. Too tall for Duckworth. One quite make the distance. The pack. Oh, there's a great mark to Brereton.
Michael Tuck from 50 metres out. Shoots at goal. He's kicked 1-1 so far.
Judge gets the ball back to Wallace. Backing up well. Back to Judge again. This looks like a goal to me if I've ever seen one. There it is. Oh, there's a great battle. Matthews with a snap at goal. This is close. It'll be a goal.
Williams puts Essendon into attack. He's looking for Baker. Here's great mark. Clark and Matthews. Matthews spins out beautifully. Left foot snap shot is pretty close. He's got it. What a goal. On the Judge, he's been fairly quiet today. Judge at centre field. Hot in pursuit is Duckworth. That man's everywhere. He gets his kick in though, Judge, up towards full forward. Brereton is marked. They want a goal quickly. In front is O'Halloran. This is their goal. Baker puts it through. That's what they wanted. And we've got a game on our hands.
On a gloomy, overcast day, Essendon would kick 9 goals 6 in the final quarter to win by 4 goals.
We unfortunately just really let a game slip, and that's probably, to me, when I reflect back on my career, the most outstanding disappointment that I've had in 15 or 16 years.
The club reacted by recruiting All-Australian captain Steve Malaxos from Western Australia and a full forward from Coorparoo in Queensland, named Jason Dunstall.
A lot of us sort of wondered whether he'd make it because he wasn't in great shape, and often we did running drills, etc. for our fitness work. He really struggled to keep up, and often was lapped 2 or 3 times, and in a sort of a 10-lap run or anything like that. And so it wasn't the sort of thing initially that everyone sort of made you realise how good a footballer he's going to be. But I mean, he's been fantastic. I mean, he's probably with Matthews. I mean, they probably challenge each other for the best player ever to play for Hawthorn.
Hawthorn wooed Magarey medalist John Platten from Adelaide. While Platten trained, he would not commit to making the move full-time. In the background, Carlton was lurking.
I still had a couple more weeks to decide, and just have to go back to Adelaide and have a talk to the big bosses over there and see how things go from there.
Well, Hawthorn officials have said today that if you do want to play football in Melbourne, it has to be with Hawthorn. Is that true?
I'm not sure on that sort of side of the contracts and that, but I think it's up to me wherever I go to. I just say the club, and then I think they would have to fight it out.
Chaz there for Neagle. Ayres comes at him.
It was the rivalry of the 80s. Hawthorn in 83, Essendon 84. In 1985, that Hawthorn-Essendon rivalry would resume unabated. There would be 4 meetings in the VFL season, twice in the home and away games before massive crowds, 2 in the finals and 1 under lights for the CUB Night Premiership. Essendon would dominate.
Danaher, well spoiled by Byrne. Neagle, 2 tacklers, and one of them comes away with it. Oh, what great play, Dippy and Domenico. Curran, Brereton, here go the Hawks from half forward. Long, is it straight? It is!
At Waverley in round 2, the Bombers would watch Hawthorn recruits Malaxos and Dunstall. They would hold little fear.
6 points.
Out wide to Eade. He could score. Goes for it and kicks it. Good goal.
Ayres goes up. Elser off the ground. Walsh bats it back. Harvey.
Mark Thompson inboard to Merritt. Over the top he goes with the hand pass. Simple goal to Watson.
But 1985 was overshadowed by the Bruns incident, recalled vividly in the video biography, Lethal.
In every sense of the word. The brawling started in the last quarter when Jacko copped one as he went for a mark and decided to go on with the business. Only a few minutes later, the umpires' notebooks were out again as Jacko was in the thick of it once more.
Oh, boy! Langford.
Then Lee Matthews decided to live up to his lethal reputation by stopping Geelong's Neville Bruns cold in his tracks. This incident escaped the umpire's attention, but not that of the Geelong players as they swarmed in on Matthews, who received some instant retribution.
That's going on everywhere here.
As Matthews was led bleeding from the ground, Jacko was back again to offer some obviously heartfelt advice. Bruns too had to be taken from the ground with blood pouring from his face.
I can remember the first thing to myself after Bruns had ran past and I'd sort of struck him. I thought, what did I do that for? And then I thought, oh, they'll be coming. I knew they'd be coming, the Geelong players, and so I just let them come.
Matthews paid dearly for the Bruns incident. Not so much in the football arena, where he was suspended 4 matches, but in the public arena, where he was tried and, some say, executed.
Certainly very difficult. I suppose if my life had been the weather this week, last 7 days, been an earthquake, I suppose, is the best way to put it, but there's not, there's very little can be said.
I mean, I'm very, very glad it was my last year of football. I mean, I'd hate to any player to have to go through that in the early part of your career. Probably might well have decimated your career. I mean, I certainly, when I came back playing after that, it only was for half a dozen games, but I certainly wasn't going near anybody in those, at that stage. And so I mean, I'm very glad it was in the last year of my career, because otherwise I don't know whether you could have played with the same kind of aggression and that was necessary.
In the grand final of the night competition, Hawthorn would record its only win for the season against Essendon. With Matthews sideline, Michael Tuck would step in as captain.
The Hawks forward line. Breer. Handling the new player. Beautiful pass. Dunstall's a man.
With the Matthews incident casting a pall over the Hawthorn season, Jeans would fire up his men. He would take them into the finals, but after 3 years finishing in second place, they would end the year third with 15 wins.
Oh, nice work by Poole to intercept. Wallace, though, the kick up to Dunstall, and Dunstall will mark.
Hawthorn have already kicked 2 straight, Richmond 1 straight. He's right on the target this afternoon. It's his second goal. The Hawks third, and they lead by 2 goals.
Morris, and now Wallace.
Wallace to Buckenara. Lester Smith again. Always in the right position. Barn the tackler. Through Fellowes' legs. Chance for Matthews. To Knights. Knights. Through the centre. Part of the Hawthorn young brigade. Knights. Beautiful mark, Peter Knights. Did it with a bit of style to Russo, who's doing it magnificently. Look at this fellow, Chris Mew, Mr. Reliable. All the time in the world, but he doesn't waste it. Buckenara chips. Langford. The hand pass across to Wallace. Wallace can look forward, further forward towards Matthews. Goal coming up to Matthews as he brushes aside. Great football, Hawthorn, all the way from defence.
It's Rod Lester-Smith. Kicks to the University side of the ground, gets the lead from Dipierre, the medico. He takes the mark, hand pass on to Big Burn, running pass, showing plenty of pace. Oh, he even has the audacity to have a bounce. Hand pass to Wallace. Wallace, the high kick to half forward. Dunstall is there. Silvani fist the ball away. Or has it been played the mark? It's been played the mark. Now Dunstall a chance to register Hawthorn's 4th goal. From half forward, stabs at the footy. And it's through. That's a lead of 28 points to Hawthorn. The lead from Madden. Byrne is there to spoil. Buckenara over the top cleverly to Handley. Shepherding by Byrne allows Handley to have a shot for goal, and as he put it through, he has. Magnificent goal. That's his second. And Russo goes back.
A loss to Essendon in the second semi, a hard-fought win over the Bulldogs in the preliminary final, set up yet another showdown with the Bombers for the 1985 flag. Matthews returned to the side and announced that the grand final would be his last as a player with the club.
It'll be a free kick now. The umpire calling play on as Russell Morris drives it out there towards the wing position, the back fly. There'll be plenty of mistakes in this first quarter, and they're having a go again. We tip this. This will be on for Young and all before it's over.
Laker and McCarthy.
Well, they're going in now, and Hawthorn are not taking any funny business today. Look at them going in, piling in there. Players falling over left and right. You pick it up, and you'll find the fighters there.
Matthews and Watson.
Look at them piling up. This is the best I've ever seen from in a grand final, Bob. I can't recall. Look good. Oh, golly, Peter. Talk about stacks on the mill. You've never seen anything like this. How they'll unravel them, I don't know, Peter.
Well, there could be every player on the ground is involved, and you could book the whole 2 sides, Bob, couldn't you?
As Alan Jeans would say later, in 1985 we wouldn't have won if we started at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Even before the game, you were still an AFL footballer. 3 hours later, you were no longer. And something that I'd wanted to do all my life from the time I could remember died. It was like part of you died, because that was it. You couldn't play anymore.
Matthews would leave the field in an emotional state. One of the greatest players of all time, Matthews had played 340 games, kicked 915 goals, won 8 club best and fairest awards, and starred in 4 premierships. Ironically, Vice-Captain Peter Knights would retire the same day. Although not part of the grand final lineup, Knights played 267 matches and missed more than 100 through injury. Visions of his boyish good looks, his perfect demeanour and his dash and high marking were an indelible part of the great Hawthorn sides of the 70s and 80s. In 1986, John Platten made the move from South Australia and made his impact immediately. Against Carlton, of all teams, he was in best on-field mode. The Rat, with 14 kicks and 12 hand passes, had settled right in.
He does. He goes.
Thumped away by McCann. Langford.
It would be a fearsome Hawthorn in 1986, hard, tough and successful. The Hawks would lose 4 games for the year and finish on top. Hawthorn had rebounded magnificently.
So once again Hawthorn come back, but they can't go goal for goal because they still trail by 2, 101 to 99 on Sevens big lead.
And he's got a chance now to put the Hawks in front from about 40 metres out. Well, I don't think it'd be 40 metres as we approach the 22.5-minute mark. He's already kicked 1 goal. This is the one he's got to kick to let the Hawks bounce back in front again. There it is on its way. It's coming around nicely. It's a goal and Hawthorn are in front. So, 22.5 minutes gone of the last quarter. It's North Melbourne. 15-12, 102. Trailing Hawthorn. 16-9, 105. Now there's a good mark taken in fence by Rodney. A long kick over that half-forward line. There's a chance now for Byrne to mark. He's got it. Oh, he's only about 35 metres out from goal, directly in front. And can he get it? Because if he kicks this goal, he's already kicked 2. It would just about give the game to Hawthorn.
On replay, a fine mark. Crocker doing everything he could to try and punch the ball away, but Byrne in better position.
The odds against Michael Byrne. He kicked 3 last week. He doesn't often do that. He's kicked 2 tonight, so this is the most crucial one of them all. He's got it, has he? Away to the goal umpire. Byrne likes it. It's a goal.
After the failures of 1985, Jeans was made full-time coach, and the club appointed Michael Tuck to lead the side. He'd first come to notice as a 16-year-old at Berwick 16 years earlier. At 32, some thought he was in the twilight of his career. How wrong they were.
Tuck, probably Hawthorn's best player. The captain has done a fine job. Needed a few mates. Bacanara's shot might go through. Has it? Yes, it's a goal. So 2 goals.
For the second season in a row, Hawthorn won the night series, Platten kicking the sealer.
He gives it to Platten. A snapshot going pretty close. It'll be a goal. And put down the glasses for the 1986 flag.
It was the old press box wing. Only marginally. Broad, a great mark. Got to play that. Since we'll wait on the accuracy. I don't think so on this occasion. Well off target. Judge a mark.
Goes back to centre field. Bacanara over the top of his opponent that time. A great mark. No one attacks him there at all as he sends it down to Dursman, who flies. That's Brereton.
And Term. At the back.
Kicks the ball long towards centre half forward. The players set themselves up.
Mark the current.
Well, there he goes on the left foot, looking for Dippier a minute ago, and Brereton. Gee, that was a strong mark.
High ball, Johnson at the back. Deer!
Into play with a booming drop punt. Oh, and a great mark by Jason Dunstall. Platten gives him a lead. And it's a beauty!
Football that didn't come off.
From the kick back into play, and a great mark taken by Gary Bacanara.
He goes in toward the half-forward zone. Brereton over the top. That was a beautiful mark by Brereton.
As he brings it towards the bucket, Bacanara. Oh, yes. He marked it. What a great mark that one.
That's enormous mark. Kicked high and then wide. Out toward the half-forward zone. That's a gutsy mark to Howard. Platten will do the roving, or Curran will get up high. Curran! Wowee! Kicking long towards Dunstall, who's getting to the back of Sutcliffe. Oh, great mark! My word, we've seen some good stuff here today, Pete.
That area. Brereton's the target, and he finds Dermott. Lopes in. It's behind a drop punt, going deep in towards full forward, but well shot. Robertson to full. Oh, Dunstall's got it. Here picks it up. His kick towards Billy Logan. Over the top is Schwab, and he takes a fine mark.
It's a lovely kick from Kurt. Nice drop punt.
Oh, Dippy.
Oh, that's a beautiful mark. Up by McCarthy. McCarthy puts the ball forward. Walsh and Brereton. Brereton in the back. It's a good mark.
Too strong. Too talented.
He's dropped it short, looking for Dunstall. Oh, great mark to Bernie DiPiero a minute ago.
Improved players in the league. There's no question. To Dunstall, yes!
Curran hooks it over the shoulder, down towards the forward pocket. Loveridge goes forward up towards the goal area. Oh, Curran! Deere gives it across to Mew. Mew with a high floating kick. Dunstall!
Deere gets it down Kennedy. Oh, this is basketball stuff, John Kennedy. Grab it with two hands. It's not the way to play football. Deere, I have it. Traps it. Tuck over the back to Curran. Now what will Curran do? He'll go long and high goalward. Not another one, surely. That was Russell Morris, I should say.
It just doesn't work out. Geelong, you ought to be ashamed of yourself today as it comes to the ground and Lovereid sends it forward. Here they go again. Thank you very much, John Kennedy. I think he'll stroll in for his second goal, and he does. Well, how easy is this?
At half-time, Hawthorn had 10 goals on the board, and since half-time they have kicked 15. Unbelievable stuff, and the game is not over yet.
To get around Rendell, high ball, they're the ones you hate. At the back is turned off, Platten, great mark.
A loss to Carlton in the second semi-final was followed by a 56-point thrashing of Fitzroy.
Gary Pert, too far out for Platten to score. Dunstall on a lead and marks.
Oh, great mark to Dunstall. Smartly over there to Wallace, a short pass. And Dunstall's got it again.
Great mark. Players puts it high, close to the boundary line, and it's a mark of Platten. Just inside, I think.
Kicks 5 handballs.
Can't do much better than that. And Curran.
Wallace through handball. Wallace up towards centre wing. Buckenara, a juggle. No mark. Oh, yes, he has paid that.
No Hawthorn player had won the Brownlow medal. In 61 years, they had provided a string of runners-up, but the big one had eluded the Hawks. In 1986, the mild-mannered, quiet and conservative Robert Di Domenico changed all that.
No, it wasn't the Blackpool incident. Brereton into the goal square. Dunstall!
1-5-5 to Carlton, 1 goal 5. The Blues not looking too hot. Oh, great mark to Brereton. What a beauty between two of them then. That's a good start for Hawthorn. Knocked out by Matten over the Ayres. Ayres gets the ball back to Buckenara. He's a dangerous player down there. He's already kicked 4 goals.
Fence line for Carlton. Back to centre wing. Big pack of players there. And Morris has paid the mark to Morris, yes.
In 1986, Hawthorn had finished on top of the ladder for the 4th time. In the grand final, 101,000 saw the Hawks in the big one for the 4th year in a row. From the first minutes of the game, it would be defender Gary Ayres who set the standard for toughness and determination. He would obliterate Blues danger man David Rhys-Jones. 2 goals to Buckenara late in the opening quarter set up a 25-point lead.
Down by Dill as a go for Buckenara. Kicks it off the ground, it's going close, it'll bounce in for a goal. Oh, what's the fortune? That's his second.
By the 6-minute mark of the second quarter, the lead would have blown out to 37 points.
In front of Dunstall. Dunstall gets in front of him, and how did he do that? Snapshot is a goal!
Dunstall kicked 3 in the third quarter, and when Brereton goaled on 3-quarter time for his 4th, the game was all but over. To Gary Ayres went the Norm Smith medal. 18 kicks, 8 hand passes and a third-quarter goal from 55 metres provided the perfect backdrop to a perfect day. 20 years after Alan Jeans had coached St Kilda to that first flag, he was back celebrating.
Brereton, can he fly? He does, through his fingers. Di Domenico's kicked 1 goal. The loose man is Curran. He's a great player.
In the grand final replay, Hawthorn showed that little had changed over the summer months. 9 goals ahead at 3-quarter time, the Hawks simply outclassed Carlton.
Dunstall! What a great mark!
Dunstall kicked 6, Platten 4, in a 45-point victory that almost mirrored the result of the Premiership playoff.
Brennan for the Eagles, number 14.
Hawthorn led by 25 points after 10 minutes in their match against the West Coast Eagles at Princes Park. The reigning premiers looked superb. By half-time, they trailed as the Eagles came back.
A good hand back to Renstead, 30 metres out. Good spoil there by Langford. He charges after to put it out, I'm sure.
In a 2-goal win to the West Australians, they produced 13 goal kickers, which in itself showed their remarkable versatility in attack.
It's Holmes, and the Eagles have got a goal and they're going to win this.
Successful, kicked off the ground by Jenke, back to the half-forward flank. Brereton with a rocket hand pass, finds Curran 50 metres out. Curran's long shot, spinning back and his goal.
The twin-pronged attack of Brereton and Dunstall was invincible when Hawthorn defeated Geelong. Dunstall kicked 7, while the kid kicked 6 in a 9-goal win.
Dunstall screws the ball around. Is it going to bounce?
Robertson comes on, the play at full forward for North Melbourne. A chance for another goal. And Cracker comes through and kicks a very easy goal.
At one stage in their match at VFL Park, North led Hawthorn by 44 points. That margin would be turned around and the Hawks would register a 22-point win.
Oh, it's taken away by Curran, who kicks a brilliant goal.
Again, it was the Hawks' forward line that did so much damage. Dunstall kicked 5, as did Curran, while Brereton was restricted to 3 after kicking 18 goals in the previous 3 matches.
Against the boundary line, gets past McDonald, handball inboard, Kennedy. Snapshot for goal by Kennedy is on
for them today as we see Morris trying to crash his way through. There's young Pritchard, a hand pass to Loveridge. Loveridge has a pot shot at the goals and he's put it through. A great goal.
In Queensland the next day, the exploits of Jason Dunstall were simply too much for Brisbane to bear. The man from Cooperoo kicked 11 in front of his one-time home crowd. His stats showed 20 kicks, 13 marks, 11 goals and a handful of opponents. Fellow forward Dermot Brereton was in great form too. He had 21 kicks and took 12 marks, helped himself to 5 goals as well. The end story was a 95-point win to the Hawks.
Morris goes forward and brings up his first goal.
For Brisbane, the match had severe after effects. Former Footscray skipper Jimmy Edmond was found guilty of striking Russell Morris with the elbow. He was suspended for a season-high 6 matches.
Punched away by Reynolds, but well taken by Curran, who swings the ball across. Gibson now is there, but Dunstall first on the scene, kicks it off the ground and brings up his 6th goal.
That's how talented Hawthorn are, as we see Loveridge on the left foot. Oh, what a mark! A top mark. He's done the soccer trick, the Maradona or Pele, and now he's taken court. Oh, Platten. A tremendous play now. This will be a goal because Platten can run right down the ground, no one coming at him, and David O'Keefe isn't going to have a goal kicked against him, so Platten runs into the open goal.
Oh, great mark by Fraser Murphy.
Up towards full forward, Buckenara from behind, but Alvin in front.
In a grand final rematch and a pointer of things to come, Hawthorn and Carlton produced one of the best matches of the season at VFL Park. 44,000 on hand for a thriller.
Oh dear, dropped it. Oh dear me. But he recovers beautifully. Oh, now what are you going to do? 2 mistakes, 1 good thing. Dunstall and Brereton. Back to Dunstall. 30 metres out. Smothered by Hunter.
There's a chance now for Paul Deere. Loveridge. Buckenara shoots.
4 goals down at half-time, the Hawks surged home.
And Hawthorn for the first time in the match.
It's in between wing and half forward. To the back, Green bowled over. No whistle. Tuck. Great play. There's the siren, and the Hawks have got up by a point.
Rash down goes Morris. Well, Cronin had to do it.
After winning 7 games on the trot, the Bulldogs made it loss number 2 in a row when Hawthorn slaughtered them on July 11. The Big Dipper was best afield, but Russell Morris kicked 6 goals in a match-winning performance. The final margin, 97 points.
He came from metres behind that marking contest to fly over the top of them and drag down the mark of the first quarter.
Sensational.
Up the ground, but not great distance. Marked by Sentiment Schwab. Onto Dippia Domenico. Onto Green. Onto Morris. And he kicks the goal. What a display by the Hawks. And still about 15 minutes with the win for the Hawks. Oh, what a mark by Brereton! Oh, he was up there forever. He'll come down next week.
Still there for the Hawks. Platten back to Dunstall. Dunstall's right foot snap is a beauty.
The last time the Swans won at Princes Park against any tenant was back in 1965. When they arrived for a round 20 encounter with Hawthorn, their hopes were slim to say the least. After leading at half-time, they simply succumbed. Brereton cut them to ribbons with 22 kicks and 15 marks. His 4 goals just added to a 45-point humiliation.
The centre half forward, Brereton, pushed off the ball, but he takes the mark. It's been paid. Play on now, says umpire Clayton. Brereton round to the left foot, bounces, could be caught. Loveridge backed him up well and puts it through again for another try. Now's a chance for Russo.
Half the Hawthorn team were in the goals when old rivals Essendon were swamped at VFL Park in what should have been one of the matches of the round. Instead, the Hawks trounced the old grand final rivals by 50 points.
Silly.
Goal square job. Platten stays at the back, but it won't reach him. Oh, great roving. Over his shoulder. Beauty.
Hawker at the back. He's got Mark Thompson in support. He gets around the Hawthorn defence, goes goalwards.
Hamilton, poor old kick. Hard for Hurd. Off to Merritt. Brereton, what a tackle. What a tackle by Dermot Brereton. He burst the ball out of his hands. Platten finds Dunstall. Open goal. Great football, Hawthorn. Dunstall all the way. Started by Brereton.
In one of the greatest home and away rounds in modern football, the 1987 season ended in triumph and disappointment. Melbourne, Footscray and Geelong all harboured hopes of playing in the finals. One spot remained for grabs.
That's incredible! Tended, shot for goal, Couch, dangerous, boundary line close. Now he's got it, screws it round for a goal, and he's put it through, has he? That's incredible! Incredible!
They've certainly got the runners. This time it's Buchanara. He burst into open territory. He's running towards a 50-metre mark. This will be a great goal if he kicks it. With a long kick down towards Lester Smith. Over the top of the pack.
Dunstall.
Hawthorn's Jason Dunstall kicked a goal 90 seconds from the siren to rob Geelong of victory. The margin at Cardinia Park, 3 points. If we'd waited all season to see how much Sydney had improved on their fourth placing in 1986, Hawthorn set the record straight most emphatically in the qualifying final at Waverley. And if there was one high point for the Sydney Siders, it came from Warwick Kappa.
Is that goal number 100? It is.
His 100th goal of the season was the first by a bloke from Sydney in the big time.
A one-out duel. Oh, taps it away beautifully to Swab. Did Michael Tuck. That was brilliant play.
I'm sure that
in front of the lowest finals crowd at a finals match in years, Hawthorn gave the Swans a football lesson.
Browning was there. Dunstall, a very unselfish player. Oh, Peter Russo, brilliantly done. He picks it up. He fires it. Goal. Great goal, Russo. Beautiful hand pass to Russo. Russo to Buchanara. Into the open goal. Bang. And I think that's another one to the Hawk.
In 15 meetings, Carlton had beaten Hawthorn twice. In 1987, they'd lost both encounters. Yet in the second semi-final, the Blues looked wonderful.
That impression, Hunter. Justin Madden taking a lovely mark. Cocked one a little bit high. And
towards half-forward, Dipier Domenico. Oh, what a mark! Oh, what a brilliant mark by the Brownlow medalist.
Dunstall balks. Thinks about the hand pass. Now hooks the ball over the shoulder towards the forward area. Kennedy punches the ball away. Brereton's there. Two players go to the ground. Call play on as Platten picks it up. Snaps towards goal.
Still in front. Tremendous use of the body. Is a chance for Kennedy. A hand pass to Brereton. Now, is that a goal? I think it is.
Bradley and the ball goes long towards the forward line. Kernan!
This will put the pressure on the Hawks if he kicks this, because they'll be 7 points in front. Steve Kernahan from 30.
Despite trailing by 9 points at three-quarter time, the Blues got up and provided the biggest upset of the season. The beaten grand finalists of 1986 had turned the tables.
In warm temperatures, things became pretty hot in the first quarter as the Demons strived for their 9th win in a row. Kicking with the breeze, Melbourne struggled until a free kick to Ricky Jackson put them in front. But shortly afterwards, Peter Curran broke through the tight Melbourne defence to bring up the Hawks' first goal, and their only one for the opening quarter. Bad defence by Hawthorn then let Todd Viney's free kick sail through for another major, and the Demons held a narrow 5-point lead at the first change. Even the wind seemed to change early in the second quarter. Rod Grinter, here with brilliant play, steals it from Gary Ayres, and his goal puts Melbourne further in front. A quick reply by Gary Buchanara was about the only highlight for the Hawks in the second term, as his long goal still left them 12 points in arrears. Then Robbie Flower was shirt-fronted by Dipper and was shortly afterwards forced to leave the field. Dipper also went to the dugout. Hawthorn, however, still fought back. A much-needed goal by Ray Jenke kept them in the hunt by reducing the deficit to 22.
Then, when Gary Buckenara was paid a free after Sean White was penalised for throwing, the Hawks briefly looked a chance. Buckenara put it straight through for a much-needed goal. When Chris Mew was KO'd by Grinter late in the third term and carried off, things looked black for the Brown and Golds, but again they came back. Goals by Kennedy and Morris, and the difference was only 9 points.
Oh, it's coming back now.
Then it was Deer to Buckenara at the 27-minute mark of the term, and suddenly Melbourne's hold on the match was tenuous. The Demons then scored a behind, and right on the siren, Gary Buckenara was given a free kick on the 50-metre mark. A 15-metre penalty, and he lined up the shot.
If he kicks this goal, Hawthorn are in the 1987 grand final. If he misses, Melbourne are in. There's the kick. It's a goal. It's a goal. Hawthorn have won.
And so it was the Hawks by 2 points, winning through to their 5th successive grand final.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have dual Brownlow medal winners. For the second year running.
John Clayton and Tony Lockett, joint winners.
Barnes, DiPierdomenico crashes his way through, and again, down he goes, forearm.
92,000 were at the Melbourne Cricket Ground for the last Saturday in September. Hawthorn and Carlton, the two teams that had played off for the flag in 86. The two teams that had finished 1-2 on the ladder in 87.
Once, a second time. He carries the ball deep into the pocket. Upward good kick two into the path of Kennedy. He's inside 50 now, John Kennedy. Pulls it downwards, full forward. Gives Silvani touch it. He claims he did. No, he did. Path of Hunter. Couldn't quite get there. It beat him by half a stride. Down he goes. Behind it's knocked away by Aitken. In goes Tuck. Tuck's over the ball. Clever hand pass. In the square, Kennedy goal.
Half forward, here they come again, the Blues. Kernahan now gets into the action. He kicks a goal, is it another one? Yes, goal.
Well, they're really running hot at the moment. They can do no wrong.
At season's end, Ron Cook stood down as president after 8 years. He'd been actively involved with the club since 1953. And then, in November, Alan Jeans was operated on for a brain hemorrhage. Football manager Alan Joyce was the logical replacement.
Ron Cook came to me and said that, and I met the board, and they said they'd like to appoint me coach for 1 year. And Ron spelled it out in no uncertain terms, the only way Ron can, and said, well, it is 1 year only, and that's it. And at the end of it, Alan returns as coach, and I said, fine.
There could not have been a better choice. In the pre-season Panasonic Cup, the Hawks beat Geelong to win the night premiership for the third time in 4 years. Tuck and Joyce there to accept the spoils. Hawthorn would have a superb season. Under the intensely quiet Joyce, the club would top the ladder. They had stars on every line and the best captain in league football.
Strides away, Michael Tuck, 35 years of age and running like a 12-year-old. Michael Tuck goes for goal. This will bounce through for a goal.
Great goal by the captain.
Over the back to Platt. Hooks it with his left.
Hawthorn faced Carlton to open the 1988 season, the premiers in sparkling form, despite some spirited opposition from Jason Dunstall. Carlton would win the rematch, but then Hawthorn strung together 5 straight wins.
High flyers again at the back. Here's a chance for Platten. He'll outrun Aitken, forced to kick with the left foot, close to the boundary line. Snapshot's not bad. Great kick by Platten's a goal. Back to Green. Green's handball finds Buckenara from 20 metres, and Buckenara's kick may have been hooked too far. No, it hasn't. It's a goal.
Ironmonger smothered. High kick, barely covers 10 metres. Brereton, what a mark. Same direction as the ball. A beauty. The whistle and paused. Up towards Strooper. Oh, Lang for the one-hander. Tries to unload his biggest and best, but he's way offline. Oh, chest mark. What a mark by Hall.
He's got it. Back to Buckenara. Buckenara hooks it back. This is close. What a great attempt. I think it's through for a goal. With what he's seen so far, Hall has been in sensational form. Look at the mark by Dermot Brereton. Big men have gone back. Brereton in front. Shepherd's marks, does he? Oh, good mark. There's 2-on-1 here. Hawthorn should win out. Curran at the back. He's got backing up Whitman. Now, where's Dunstall? He ducks back. Whitman has a shot. This is close. Shepherd. Goal.
Now with the green boots, back to Dunstall. Fires out a hand pass. That wasn't a particularly good one. He'll have to do the work himself. The right foot snapshot is brilliant. It's a goal.
Tremendous. Towards the half-forward line. Whitman. Oh, what a good mark by the little rover. DiPierdomenico.
In round 7, there would be a loss to Melbourne. That would be remedied later in the year.
Curran to Buckenara. He's right on the boundary line. Can he kick a miraculous goal? It's coming back. Oh, it's not a bad-looking kick. It's a great goal. Back. Platten from behind goes for the big punch. Good disciplined play. Oh, Dipier Domenico, good football. Oh, here's White against Dunstall. Oh, it's a goal. Oh, great goal to the Hawks.
This would be Hawthorn at its most powerful. In '88, the Hawks were simply awesome.
2 metres out, first goal of the game.
Gow's kick over the centre. Brereton alive. What a mark by Dermot Brereton.
Rio not paying attention on the mark. Scott goes down towards half forward. Big pack airs. Great mark. Picked up by Whitman. 1 out contest. Dunstall. Oh, what a great mark. Miles long towards the goal square. Langford. Oh, what a great mark.
Dipier Domenico steers it wide for Dunstall. Oh, clever.
Here's danger. Platten behind. Players going past. John Platten wheels onto his right foot. Hooks it back across his body. His 11th goal of the season.
Dunstall. Oh, he's dropped another one. Paddled out to Buckenara. 35 metres out. He's kicked it.
It's being paid. It was a Hawthorn free kick anyway. Oh, great mark, Tony Hall. Spiralling a punt kick down towards Brereton. Can't take it with the one hand. Grant supplying the opposition, but Brereton gets clear. Is this going to give Hawthorn the lead? It is!
A kick away by Banfield. No mark. Yes, it is. Hall juggling. Mark. Away to Whitman. Whitman's kick to the front of the 10-metre square. Tuck! One-hander in these conditions.
Al Jolson by the minute back to Buckenara. Tries to get clear and shoot. First goal of the quarter.
Oh, look at the Hawks. They're struggling hard right to the end. Chance for Dunstall. Shot for goal is good.
Kick a goal. Cordy ducks back. And Curran. Oh, what a mark! Peter Curran.
There would be one more loss, round 16 against the Swans. With Dunstall missing, there would be a slight hiccup.
Now turns back. Still trying to get back. He can't do so. Eventually kicks with his left foot. Shoots a goal and has put it through for a great goal.
Brereton and Curran. Curran! Oh, another great mark. Foot he goes and a long kick. Andrew Collins in front. Oh, that allows his teammate and Tony Hall to crash through with it. He's got it. Oh, good play by Hall. He straightens up. Oh, what a great goal that was.
Brereton would figure in the most talked about incident of the season. Round 18 against Essendon, and the kid took on the Bombers.
Wouldn't like to meet either of them in a dark night and be unfriendly. And, well, there's a bit of humour in football. They look like they're enjoying themselves.
Billy started laughing and I showed him that I was trying to show him that he held no fears for me, so I kissed him on the cheek.
The next week, Jason Dunstall would kick his 100th goal. He would end the season with 132 goals, winning his first Coleman medal along the way.
Here goes Deere out of defence for the Hawks. Up towards centre wing. Kennedy. Oh, well played.
A record equalling 19 wins, top spot, a semi-final win over Carlton at VFL Park in the second semi, and a grand final showdown with Melbourne.
Madden again to Naylor. He was caught. Rhys Jones straight to John Kennedy. Kennedy on the left foot. Oh, he's put it through.
Ladder. The grand final of '88 was one of the great mismatches. The experienced Hawks against a Melbourne team that had not played off for the flag since 1964.
Mrs. Kennedy and Rash, they go through. There's Abbott, who's played every game this year. Way to Morrissey. Off to Schwab. Snap for goal and he's kicked it.
And I think there were three things in the second quarter against Melbourne. One was when John Platten hit Dunstall in the chest from when it started to rain. And he kicked the goal. Dipier Domenico from Morrissey kicked another one on his left foot, and Dermot screwed one back from the boundary line. 3 goals, I think we were 17 points up. And those 3 goals at that particular period put us up 34 points within probably 3 or 4 minutes. And talking to a lot of young players even today, but that's the difference between winning and losing.
There's Gary Ayres. I don't know what position Gary Ayres is playing. He's everywhere.
It was a classic game in that everything you basically did came off, and to have that in a grand final, it was very, very nice. And to win my second Norm Smith medal certainly was a big adrenaline surge for me, or a rush, and I certainly remember that.
With the left foot towards half forward. Ayres, great mark, Ayres. Superb mark.
Formerly played state cricket for Western Australia. To centre half forward, no height there for Melbourne. Dipier Domenico, Sherman 10. Up to the forward line. What a mark by Abbott.
Recruited from South Australia. Comes Member's side. Ill-directed. Wrong mark. A fellow South Australian and Halls.
Dippia Domenico from halfback. Centre of the ground. Morrissey.
Buckenara into open space. What a kick, what a lead. Away, it's taken by Lovell, who hooks it down towards full forward. Going back, a fine mark is taken by Chris Mew. Forward of centre wing. Centering kick. Big pack into the air. Well, in fact,
it'll be a great spurt. In the goal square, Brereton. Yes!
Alan Joyce took over as coach. Took over from a legend. He's done it his way this afternoon. Congratulations to him.
The Hawks going for a record here. Abbott on the run. Can he kick his sixth? He can! And that is a record margin in a grand final.
We're out of time in the grand final. Hawthorn, their 7th premiership in emphatic style this afternoon.
Gary Ayres would become the first and to date only dual winner of the Norm Smith medal. As President Trevor Coote would say at the Hilton that night, they said we were too old, too slow, lacked talent and had an untried coach. The 96-point win over Melbourne was the club's 7th premiership, the margin the greatest in league history. In 1989, Jeans resumed as coach, Joyce resumed as football manager. He had been the ideal stand-in. His loyalty and integrity could never be questioned.
The rules were set, and I think that's one of the things that has been very important in that phase of the Hawthorn Football Club, that the rules were set and everyone knew what was going on.
Hawthorn's key forward, well out of it. Brereton. Centering kick, Spawn in front. Schwab, great judgment and courage. What a superb mark.
Brereton to Anderson to Platten. Snapshot is close. It's good. It's a goal. His first for the day. Paul gets there first, lays it off to Dean Anderson. He's hooked it back. That's pretty close. That's a goal, I think. Yes, it is.
Brereton was well held by Laffey, but Abbott has played exceptional.
After 132 goals in 88, it was hard to imagine Jason Dunstall getting any better. After a record-breaking win in the grand final, it was hard to imagine Hawthorn improving. Yet 1989 was a superb season. The club aiming to win back-to-back flags for the first time.
Down, snaps at goal. Pretty good snap to start the final quarter. He's kicked it.
He's having a pot shot at the goals, a one-on-one contest and a one-handed mark, kicking it to Dunstall. Dunstall and McKenzie. Dunstall in front, punched away by McKenzie. Hannah's there. He's lost it to Morrissey. Morrissey hooks it back at the goals. Not a bad-looking snap by James Morrissey. That's his quiet day. I'd like to see him on a good one. There's Aiken dropping the mark and allows Buckenara to grab. He normally kicks these, Buckenara. I think he has. Yes.
Hawthorn would play Geelong twice. Arguably, they were the two best games of the season. In round 6, they clashed at Princes Park, the Cats in blistering first-half form, leading by as much as 9 goals. But in the last quarter, Hawthorn came back from a 4-goal deficit to take the game. It would be a sign of things to come.
Comes to Platten or Mew. Chris Mew over to the former Brownlow medalist. What a great kick to Hall. Brilliant kick. And to Brereton. Sensational football by the Hawks.
Oh, nearly took the mark, but it's not there. Platten, the short one is on. Is that a free kick? The umpire didn't think so. Double Brereton with an open goal. And he's put his foot through.
Late in the first quarter, after starting sensationally. Here's Morrissey again. A tap out is clever by Hall to Pritchard. Dippia Domenico. Back he goes. Shot for goal by Kennedy. He's got it. Dunstall can't break the tackle. Morrissey off the ground. The Hawks are in front. Ayres to the wing with a mighty kick of 60 metres. Collins over the back takes the mark. Brilliant.
Here's Dippia Domenico, a quick kick. Dunstall. Strength. Great mark.
Mackesy about to be swamped. Dippia Domenico over the top of him. Looks for Dunstall. Abbott's there as well. Dunstall. Dumped the ball on for Hall. Hall should have gathered first touch. Whitman. Oh, look at that. Here's Schwab. Soccering off the ground. Hall. Almost. Oh, still got it, Tony Hall. Brilliant play. Left footer up to Dunstall. It might go for a goal. Oh!
Well, tries to tap it back. A loose ball is with Ayres. Ayres onto the left foot. Has a puck shot at goal. And don't tell me he's put it through. He has.
Jackson underneath. Oh, Langford, a big try.
Ball behind the pack. Morrissey had an opportunity. Condon battling against Turner. He's still got the run of it, Condon. Well played. He's about 60 metres out from goal. On the breeze, he sends it long down towards Dunstall. It could bounce through for a goal. It has.
Started on the bench today for Hawthorn. He's gone for a pass. White in front. Hall over the top. That's a magnificent grab by Pritchard. Pritchard's kick into the goal square. Dunstall can't mark. Runs into his teammate Morrissey, which didn't help their cause. Morrissey gets the hand pass out. Dunstall. Snapshot. Brilliant. Ball slapped into the open spaces again. Condon. As Peter mentioned, what a great mark to Tony Hall.
McGuinness to Platten. Platten wide. Brereton. Oh, the big fly. Here he is again. Brereton in the centre of the back. He's Dunstall with the chance. On the left foot. Hooks it back. Oh, what a great goal.
Ball misses the mark that he generally would have taken. Platten sockets it off the ground, albeit not very far. Morrissey takes it even further. And the Bears try to take it out, but Morrissey has other ideas. Sockets it through. Miraculous goal.
Up towards the half-forward area. Gowers over the top. What a mark.
For Hawthorn. Dunstall, has he marked it inside the line? Yes, says the boundary umpire. He runs around, gets a play on call, hooks it, and he's put it through. By O'Connell. Collins well downfield. Oh, gets steamrolled by Rance. He's put a couple of Hawthorn players out of business today. The first one was Greg Deere. Collins gets another chance. And Buckenara has his head in the sand at the moment. That kick off the hands of the pack. No, it's a goal. Gives it back to Buckenara, who's been fairly quiet. Platten in the middle, can't mark, or can
he? Did. It was a great mark.
Centering kick by Brereton. Oh, Dunstall!
Now Pritchard, hand pass further to Dippy Domenico, outside 50. Dippy Domenico lets go with a big drop punt. It's his third goal.
He's the skipper of the ship at the present time. The one that's sailing pretty well, and he finds Dunstall. What a superb mark. There's the kick down towards full forward. Not a particularly good one. It comes to Dunstall, though. Dunstall 30 metres out. Great snap. Goal. He goes long. Curran is the target. Will have to be good. They closed on him. Dunstall. Chance at his ninth. It's good.
They're out wide. Dunstall! What a mark. Kennedy, good tackle, Alban. Dunstall hooks it around. It'll go close to a score. Brereton's in the goal square, shepherds it. All clear, says Peter Cameron.
In round 18, Dunstall kicked his 100th for the second year in a row. Another Coleman medal and the club best and fairest to go with it.
He centres the ball. Dunstall surrounded. But he's come down with it. What a mark. On the turn quickly for Dunstall. Oh, mark.
Oh, what a pass.
Again, Hawthorn topped the ladder for the second year in a row with 19 wins. In the second semi-final, they'd meet and beat Essendon. Dermy knocking the wind out of the Flying Dutchman's sails.
Out of defence, brings it to the half.
Again, 19 wins and 3 losses. Dunstall, 138 goals for the season. Again, top spot, a 7th straight grand final, and the Ablett-inspired Cats, the only obstacle to yet another premiership.
Pumps it high. Dunstall. Oh! Pretty to watch. Dunstall goes for the pass, not the goal. Buckenara with a mark!
The 1989 grand final will go down in the annals of the game as one of the greatest. In the AFL's documentary 100 Years of Football, the courage of 2 of the game's great stars was examined.
For Hawthorn was not a particular goal, nor kick, nor spark of brilliance. It was the moment when the game's most flamboyant personality, Dermot Brereton, rose to his feet after this attack in the opening seconds.
The doctors wanted him to come off the ground, but he wouldn't come, so we moved him down into the forward pocket.
I just remember saying to myself, it cannot end here. This has got to be probably the most important 2 hours of my life. It just cannot end here, and I just mentally wouldn't let it end there.
His body convulsing, his mind confused. But in the face of one man, the courage born of commitment, the will never to surrender till the premiership is won.
I mean, it's just the most thrilling thing I've ever seen. My heart was just out here, you know, screaming out, you know, go Dermot.
There's no myths about Brereton's courage. He was a sensational player. His courage, whether you like him or not, he handed it out. He never ever pulled out when it came his turn when he wasn't in the box seat.
Still recovering from the clash, Brereton took a towering mark and goal, inspiring Hawthorn to a great victory over Geelong and writing another chapter in football's folklore. Geelong hadn't won since 1963, while Hawthorn, despite their age of supremacy, had never won back-to-back flags.
But these players, if they really wanted to be the players to play in the first back-to-back premiership, they had to pay a supreme price.
The price was supreme, but no one minded paying it. 12 players were taken to hospital afterwards, 6 from each team, including Hawk Robert Dippier Domenico, who had continued playing despite a punctured lung. This was the day of football's gladiators. So ferocious was the battle that Batman's romp passed unnoticed. For the 95,000 fans, this was an epic to be thankful for.
Kicks the Hawks back into attack in the 10-metre square. Brereton, clean mark in the goal square. Flanagan now doing the ruck work against Deer. Ablett over the top. Snapshot by Gary Ablett. This is close. Oh, it is mercurial stuff.
It looks like it's all over. The dream of back-to-back pennants is all but there as far as the Hawks are concerned. There's the siren. Hawthorn have won it by 6 points. A heart-stopper. Ladies and gentlemen,
there's a courageous side, you know, that bloody 89 grand final game. It'll go down in living history as far as Hawthorn is concerned.
I put 89 as the greatest grand final win.
In my time, I suppose it was the most courageous win I've seen a group of people. You know, we were just walking and wounded, but the players just wouldn't give up, and we got the results, and it was our first back-to-back premiership.
Dipper missed the celebrations. He was recovering in hospital.
And the 225-game veteran Hawk can certainly identify with that. On Saturday, Dipper showed the character and toughness that has the respect of his teammates and almost everyone who loves the game. This clash in the first quarter felled the Hawk winger, but by half-time he had little recollection of what had happened and needed pain-killing injections to take the field again.
Because I didn't want to come off anyway, because being a grand final, that's what you play for, that's what you train for and whatever, and being part of Hawthorn's history-making side, you know. Yeah, I just want to be part of that.
The worst was yet to come. Playing from memory, and with the Hawks struggling to field 18 fit players, he had to stay on the ground. Not until he was told by skipper Michael Tuck the siren had gone and they'd won was the severity of his injury known. Gasping for breath and almost unconscious, Dipper couldn't take his place at the presentation. Di Domenico had played for 3 quarters with a punctured lung and broken ribs. If X-rays show his condition has improved, he'll be allowed home tomorrow. His other big disappointment is missing Hawthorn's overseas matches.
Oh, very disappointed. I started a little slogan, you know, Dipper for skipper. And there's a lot of young kids going overseas this year, and I was hoping I could lead them on and off the field.
See if the umpire had finished waving the flags. He's found Hunter. Oops, that's a bit of strong work. Marku and Matthews.
Boot, but Van der Haar, the Flying Dutchman's got one in the back after taking the mark. He's hurt too. Oh, there's a blow. Can he get up?
As we look back on the electrifying 80s, let's dwell for a moment on the hard men, the big hits, the big tackles that helped set this Hawthorn team apart.
Punched away from Giles, McLean coming across. Matthews, really gave Giles one behind play. Matthews now in the hands of, 3 or 4 players. You can see for yourself.
Little bit of fireworks here at the MCG.
Wallace. Over to Shields.
Box on there.
Yes, Brereton having a slight disagreement with Glenn Hawker. Brereton's down. Umpire Glenn James has got the pen and pencil out.
It'll be McCarthy against Matt. Madden gets the tap down to Hawker, but he's grabbed, and that's the siren to end the second quarter. At Hawthorn in a pretty good position, 9 goals, 10-64. There's a box on now.
Essendon player got rolled there.
Well, I think I nominated this before, about halfway through the first quarter. This could be on. They're still at it now. DP Domenico. There's a bloke down there. Who is it? Stoneham, is it? We'll pick him up in a moment. Well, this has been edging this way for quite some time. The tempers have been frayed, but they've been hanging on to them, Pete.
Against South Australia, he'll be playing at Football Park on Monday. Oh, DP Domenico stood his ground. You can't blame him for that, I guess.
He staggered Salmon all right. At half-back goes for a pass. It's a good one. Oh, down he goes. And this young fella's played a great game. He copped the heavy one that time. And,
Troy lost it, and now Hawthorn have lost it. DP Domenico. Oh, that the book comes out again. Folds has gone this time.
30 metres away and made no attempt to get to the players.
Oh, Matthews got one. You never guess who it is. He's gone again.
Wallace again. Another handball, and he copped another heavy one, and he's gone down this time. Saying, where am I, who am I with, and what day is it?
Profusely from the nose. Bertie grabbed again this time. Oh, and he gets one from...
Couldn't get a good kick off. Picken gets a stranglehold on Brown. Still into him now. They're having a box on.
He's gone.
Umpire saying, what's that? Well, Billy's saying, what's the free kick? But he's taking the book out with Billy Picken. Well, they will, I should imagine, beat St Kilda. Flying high that time was Lester Smith. Had a
he got KO'd.
I don't think, who was it? Terry Bright.
40-metre hand pass. Too long for Brereton, in fact. Brereton, clever knock on. Here's a Josh Schwab. 2 of them flattened. And there's a number being taken. English is gone.
Curran gets into position, punched away by Danaher playing at centre half back. Oh, Walsh got one from DP Domenico. Caught him on the point of the chin. The umpire going across to take his number. Miss it. It's Austin getting away from Matthew. Oh, it got one from DP Domenico. Oh, it was a nasty one.
Well spoiled by Ede. Wallace taps it on cleverly to Buckenara. He's got Dippy running. Oh! Hocking was held without it. No free kick. Gathered by Morrissey. Great and popped one from Dippy Domenico. Who will be reported. I don't know. I mean, Dippy's built like a brick outhouse. Really.
That was no report, Sandy. Well, too. Rodney Eads' left foot kick comes in toward Brereton, and Brereton took the mark, but was it out of bounds or not?
Oh, he copped one in the mush too.
Well, he'll have to get a free kick now, won't he?
Is it reported?
Yep.
And Van der Haar down there in defence. A long kick to half. He's grabbed it. Oh, he got a heavy one that time from Schwab. Knocked him right out. But I think it was a fair enough bump, but the umpire's going over to take his number. But he doesn't know where to go. He's down. Oh, he's upend. He might have got it too high. Against DP Domenico. He's taking his number.
He's got to sit this time. Oh, free kick.
Free kick to Gapper against Ayres. Furley's place.
Dippy Domenico's got a sin underneath this one. Oh, gets punched in the back of the head.
No, said the umpire. McKenna round the boundary line. Schwab, courage as he backed into the pack. Condon, under no pressure whatsoever. Back to Di Domenico. Oh, he's bowled over by Williams. And the umpire says it's a free kick against Williams for use of the shoulder.
The hand on the back of Kennedy, not seen. Hocking was held without it. No free kick. Gathered by Morrissey. Great, popped one